Years ago, I'm journaling, I'm writing some notes down, and I have this realization that has helped me so much have difficult conversations and lean in and confront the things that need to be confronted. And I'm journaling and I'm writing some things down, and what dawns on me is a formula.
Welcome to Building Your Sales Engine. I'm your host, Mark McGraw.
Hey friends, if you'd like any of the show notes or the handouts that we have for any of our episodes, go visit buildingyoursalesengine.com/giveaway. And what you're going to find is a resource lab right over there of all kinds of tools, resources, cheat sheets, and guidebooks that will help you in your journey of building out your top performing sales team, or if you're an individual producer, then your top performing sales results. Lots of tools available for you over there. We'll see you in the show. Hey friends, welcome back to Building Your Sales Engine. I'm your host, Mark McGraw. Hey, today I thought I would record a quick show for you on a principle that has helped me a lot deal with conflict and to lean in and have a confrontation or address whatever problems that might exist, whether it's with an employee, whether it's in a relationship, whatever it might be. I am not the kind of person who leans into that type of confrontation and addressing problems. And so as a result of that, I think it's easy to avoid doing it. And years ago, I'm journaling, I'm writing some notes down, and I have this realization that has helped me so much have difficult conversations and lean in and confront the things that need to be confronted. And I'm journaling and I'm writing some things down, and what dawns on me is a formula by which I found that I was following this formula, and I saw a lot of other people that I was coaching also run into an issue, and there was a pattern. And the formula, if you want to jot it down, if you want to, take note of it, the formula is simple, and it is this: 10 x 10 equals 100. Now, here's what this means. Let me break it down. It's got three components to it. The first 10 means that when you see a problem, you generally are seeing only 10% of the real problem. So as a manager, as a leader, or any role in your life, if you see a problem with an employee being late and it comes to your attention, it's likely that you're only seeing 1 out of 10 of the late employee situations. If you hear from a client that they're complaining about one of your salespeople maybe not being responsive or not being available, there's probably 9 more situations that you're not aware of where that salesperson is not being responsive. It's just the case. One time I had an employee who, when I was looking over an expense report, I noticed that there was some fudging going on in the expense report. And I thought to myself, I wonder if this is the first and only time. And so I went through a log of the expense reports, and I realized and I saw, as you can imagine, that this had happened a number of times, and I just missed the other ones. So I think the first part of this formula is that when you see a problem, you're typically only seeing 1/10 of the real problem. Now, this can happen personally as well. If you've got a kid and you've seen a disruptive moment somehow in their life, it might be that there are more than that as well. So I think that this shows itself in a lot of situations. The second part of this formula is the X10. The X10 says this, is that the fear of addressing the problem is almost always 10 times greater than the reality. And here's what this means. Let's go back to the employee. Let's say you have an employee who you need to let go. The time has come. You've been putting it off or whatever, and you build up in our own minds, this is going to be a difficult conversation. They're going to blow up. There's going to be yelling and screaming, all this stuff. And we build up in our heads the fact that we feel as if it's going to be a really big deal. And yet when we finally have the confrontation with someone and we actually address the issue, it's not nearly as bad as what we thought it was going to be. And so the fear of addressing an issue is often 10 times greater than the reality. That can be true when dealing with an employee. That can be true with any issue that you're trying to address with someone, is that we build out the problem to be bigger in our own minds. I'm sure many of our listeners have had this happen, where if you had to let an employee go, I've actually had employees thank me, and they've said, hey, I've known for a while this isn't the right fit for me, and I appreciate the time here, and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they don't do it in the meeting where we've separated ways, but it's happened down the road where I bump into them at Home Depot and I hear the story, and there's a little awkwardness, but very quickly, you hear the back end of that story. So if you think about, we see 10% of the depth of the problem. The X10 says that the fear of addressing it's usually 10 times greater than the reality of addressing it. This gets us to the equals 100. And the equals 100 says, typically we are at least 100 days late in doing something about the problem. So we put off this issue that we're trying to address and that we're trying to deal with, and we just delay it. We kick the can down the road, and we're putting it to another day. And over and over and over, this happens such that we don't lean into the issue and address it. And as a result, it drags on longer than it should. And because we see a fraction of the issue and because the fear is greater, we end up with this situation over here where we continue to push out the dealing with the issue. And I've had many times where I've shared this with people, and they have said to me, man, I wish it was only 100 days. I've been faced with something for 18 months, whatever it might be. When we think about these things, they lay in levels that give us the courage necessary to lean in and have a conversation with somebody that's a difficult conversation, but that conversation needs to be had. Okay? And as a result of that, it gives me the courage that I need in order to be able to actually address the issue, because I've just built up this case. I've asked myself, does this formula that I've just shared fall into this equation? Almost always I say, yeah, it's right there, and I need to do something about it. And that gives me the motivation to take action and then to go lean into the difficult conversation. Now, how do you have a difficult conversation? There's a number of ways to do this, but there's one that I've found that I've used over and over, and I'll lay it out for you. It's kind of 4 steps. It's very simple, as I like to have things be simple. By the way, complex things do not get done, and it's one of my rules. I mentioned earlier in a previous episode that I did some McGraw's laws. One of my McGraw's laws that I actually got from Tony Robbins is complexity is the enemy of execution. And so this is a very simple process, 4 steps on how to have a difficult conversation with someone. It starts with number 1, I feel that. I feel that you're coming into work consistently late, and that's an observation that I'm seeing. The second part of the equation is, for example. And so in the second part of the conversation that you're having with somebody, give somebody concrete examples of where you've seen evidence of this problem. So I might say, hey, for example, last Tuesday for this particular meeting, you were 7 minutes late for the meeting. I couldn't help but notice when you came in, it interrupted the flow of the rest of the conversation that we were having, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Step 3 is that now what you do is you express what it is that you need from this person. And it simply starts like this. Here's what I need from you. And then you bullet or itemize out in detail what you're looking for from the individual. Okay? And you just lay it out. What I need from you is to show up, on time. In fact, on time is 5 minutes before the meeting starts. You're there, you're ready to go, and you're expressing to the person what that looks like. And the last part may be optional, but I think I found it to be useful, and that is as a result. And so here you go in and lay out as a result of being on time, here's what that's going to mean. Your colleagues are going to think more of you. They're not going to be talking behind your back for the fact that you're always late and eye rolls and the whole thing, and that you're going to get more respect and more things done in an easier way, whatever it is. But you're laying out as a result. And for me, I found it to be helpful once I've realized the 10 times 10 is 100 formula over here is now I'll take this simple 4-step process and I'll just play it out in my head. I'll just rehearse it with myself. So number 1, I feel that, ... Number 2, for example, ... Number 3 is going to be what I need from you, ... And number 4 is as a result. Okay? And there's many, many, many different formulas for how you can go have a difficult conversation. But for me, once I make the recognition of the problem over here with the 10x10 is 100, and then over here, I use this simple formula and I do a little bit of rehearsal and I think about it in my head. It becomes easier to have the conversation, to lean into it. And as a result of that, a small problem doesn't become a big problem. I found it to be a very, very helpful tool. I hope you do too. And while this is a shorter episode here for today, I hope it's exceptionally meaningful to you. And if you care to, I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the things that come to your mind when you think about the concept of 10 times 10 is 100? And what do you need to lean into and have conversations about? All right, we'll see you next time on Building Your Sales Engine. Hopefully this has been helpful to you, and we'll see you again soon.
So, hey, I hope you've gotten a ton of value out of this episode. By far, it's our purpose to help people make money and have fun and have a good time. We're here to help improve your life, to help you make it easier to go sell or to manage your sales team, and ultimately to go build your own sales engine. Don't miss an episode. Best way to go do that is to make sure that you jump out to buildingyoursalesengine.com/follow, where you can link up to all of our latest episodes. For more information about this episode, go to buildingyoursalesengine.com, where you can download show notes, transcripts, and other information, including handouts, snapshots of this and other episodes. If you'd like to connect with us to talk about how we can help you build your sales engine, and you are either located in the state of Georgia or are referred to us by one of our clients or affiliated by one of our clients, please reach out to us at buildingyoursalesengine.com, where you can click there to book some time with us. We can find out how we can be of help with one another. If you're not in either of those two circumstances, please reach out to Sandler.com, where you can find a Sandler office near you. Be well.